Hi, welcome to Crochet Jewel Channel. I'm going to share with you how to make this cute crochet bunny rabbit Lovey blanket. I used medium worsted yarn, an F hook. The F hook was for the ears and the arms, and a G hook for the head and for the blanket. And if this is too fast, you can place it in slow motion. There's a link below how to do that. The pattern is down below in the description, and there's a playlist for beginners for beginner crochet stitches. Okay, so let's get started. In the magic ring, you're going to work 6 single crochet. So place your yarn over your fingers, take your hook, grab the yarn, and do a chain. Now that you have your magic ring, you're going to insert your hook, grab the yarn over, and pull through 2 loops, and then you're going to work the rest of your single crochets, which is 6 altogether. Pull it closed and insert into the first stitch and slip stitch. Grab the yarn and then pull through. Then in each stitch around, you're going to work 2 single crochet for a total of 12. And repeat that all the way around until you have 12. Now you can keep track of your rounds with a stitch marker. You don't have to use a slip stitch. You're going to work in continual rounds. And first you're going to do a single crochet and then 2 single crochet and then repeat that around. So then 1 and then 2 and then 1 and then 2 repeat that around until you get to the beginning. Now you're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches and then work an increase. So 1 in the next 2 stitches and then increase of 2 until you get back to your stitch marker. Now single crochet in the next 3 stitches. And then work an increase of 2. So 1 in the next 3 stitches and then increase until you get to the stitch marker. Now you're going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch around for a total of 7 rounds. Keep working this around until you get to the stitch marker for a total of 7 rounds. Now after all your rounds for the head, you're going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. And then single crochet decrease. And then just repeat single crochet in the next 3 stitches. And then decrease and just repeat that around until you get to the stitch marker. Now single crochet in the next 2 stitches and then work your decrease again. So single crochet in the next 2 stitches and then work a decrease. Work that until you get to the stitch marker. Now you can add the eyes and a nose, and then you're going to start closing it. Just create 1 single crochet and then create 2 single crochet together, decrease, and then just keep repeating that until you get back to the beginning. Now this is for the ears. You need to make 2. So create the magic ring. If this is your first time, there's a link down below on how to do the magic ring. I like to slip stitch into it, create a chain, and then work my 6 single crochet, insert the hook, grab the yarn, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And then pull it closed, slip stitch into the first stitch. You can keep track of your rounds with a stitch marker. So in the next round, I'm going to create a single crochet. And then in the next work 2 single crochet increase. So you'll just repeat that around. 1, and then 2, and then 1, and then in the stitch marker work your 2, and then place your stitch marker in that beginning stitch. And then single crochet around in each stitch. So just 1 single crochet until you get back to the stitch marker. Now you're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches and then work an increase. So 1 in the next 2 stitches. And then work an increase. Repeat that until you get to the stitch marker. So 1 in the next 2 stitches, then work your 2 increase until you get to the stitch marker. Now you're going to single crochet into the next 3 stitches. And then work an increase of 2. And then repeat that until you get to the stitch marker. 1 single crochet in the next 3 and then increase. Now in the next 6 rounds, you're just going to make single crochets, no increases. And just repeat that around until you get to the stitch marker each time for 6 rounds. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches. And then work 2 single crochet together. So insert your hook, grab the yarn, insert your hook into the next stitch, grab the yarn, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, single crochet in the next 3 stitches. This is repeat until you get to the stitch marker. And then work your 2 single crochet together. And then repeat that until you get to the stitch marker. Now work 1 single crochet in each stitch around until you get to the stitch marker. Work that until you get to the stitch marker, 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Now single crochet into the next 2 stitches. Then work 2 single crochet decrease. And repeat that around, 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches and then work your decrease until you get to the stitch marker. And then you can finish with 1 single crochet around in each stitch until you get back to the stitch marker. And then you can fasten off Make sure to make 2 of these. You do not need to stuff these. You want them kind of flat. Work that until you get to the stitch marker. And to finish off, you just need to go into the next stitch, pull your yarn through, and slip stitch. And then you can cut your yarn. When you slip stitch, you can yarn over and pull through. It's going to look like this for the ear. Make 2 of these. This is for the arms. You're going to want to make 2 of these, and then you're going to make it with a magic ring. So create the magic ring and slip stitch into it. And then work 6 single crochet. And then pull through, pull it tight to close, slip stitch into the first stitch. A lot of this is repeat. So you have your 6 single crochet, and then you're going to work 2 single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 12. So just work your 2 single crochet. You can use a stitch marker. Okay, so for 6 rounds, just work single crochets around. Use a stitch marker to keep track of your rounds. Now you're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches and then work a decrease. Insert your hook, grab the yarn, insert your hook into the next stitch, grab the yarn, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then do a decrease again and just repeat that around. Single crochet in the next 2 stitches and do a decrease. Now you're going to single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 5 rounds, and you can start stuffing the arms. Work that until you get to the stitch marker for 5 rounds. Okay, so now you're going to slip stitch and fasten off. Make sure you stuffed with your stuffing inside. I'm going to work the blanket portion of this pattern. I'm going to work it into the magic ring. If this is your first time, there is a link on how to do that below to learn. But the way I like to do it, I just make it really simple. I wrap it around my fingers, take my hook, grab the yarn and pull it through, then yarn over and pull through for a chain 3. And then you're going to work a double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, grab the yarn, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then work another double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And then you're going to work a chain 2 and then work 3 double crochet. And then chain 2, and then work this 2 more times, 3 double crochet. and then chain 2, and then work 3 double crochet again. And then chain 2. Then you're going to pull it closed and then go into the chain on top of the chain 3 and then slip stitch. Then you can slip stitch in. Now for the color change, I'm going to pull through and then I'm going to slip stitch into this chain space to start the new color, and then chain 3, work 2 double crochet, and then chain 2, and then 3 double crochet, and then work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in the chain space, and chain 2, and then 3 double crochet, so repeat that around 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet until you get back to the beginning. Now you're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 and then slip stitch into the next 2 stitches, and then you can take your color and slip stitch into that, just pull it through and then slip stitch into the chain space, and then work your chain 3, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and then 3 double crochet, then in this space here work 3 double crochet, and then work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, then 3 double crochet, and then 3 double crochet, so you're going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, and then 3 double crochet in the space, and then work it all the way around until you get to the beginning. Now you're going to slip stitch into the chain 3, slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. This is all repeat, you just pull your yarn through for your color change. Then I like to go into the next stitch, which is this chain space, and slip stitch in the new color. It blends in a lot better. Then do your chain 3, work your 2 double crochet, then your chain 2, then 3 double crochet. You can do this up to about 8 to 9 to 10 rows, depending on how big you'd like the blanket portion. You're going to work your 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Repeat that all the way around, slip stitch in all the way to here, then pull your new color through, slip stitch in with your new color. Just repeat that around to continue. All these loose ends, you're just going to weave them in 3 to 4 times on the back side here to disguise them. Once you do that, you can cut all of these loose ends. So you have your head assembled. Make sure you stuff it. You have the eyes, the nose, and then you have the arms and the ears. You will just take your yarn needle and the yarn, make sure you leave a tail, and you can just go ahead and about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 rows down, you can go ahead and sew on the ears. Make sure it's centered behind the eyes, and then you can do the same for this ear on this side. And you just take your yarn needle and just connect it with the row and just weave in and out with your yarn and just connect this back and forth into each stitch into the row, and you'll just continue until that's done, and then you can do it for this side as well. And then you're going to take your yarn on the bottom here and sew it right into the center of this blanket. Once you have the ears on, then take your tail from the head, go into the center, and you're going to take a part of the loop of the head here and then go into the center of this blanket, and you can start attaching it. And you're just going to take each stitch and go into the center of this blanket. Just grab a hold of any stitch that you can. Just make sure it is in the center. And then you're just going to keep doing that as you go around the entire head. So go into each stitch, attach it, and then go into the next stitch, attach it, and then the head will be placed. Then you can take your arms. As you sew it right here, you can take your arms as well and make sure you kind of stuff it in there too, and you can sew around it. As I started sewing it, I'm going to attach one of the arms right on the side here, and so I'm just going to go ahead and just sew it right inside. So it will attach, and you want it in the side of the head, and you want it to secure it before you start attaching the full head. You can attach the arms, and the arms will come out to the side, and just keep sewing it in to the head. Take a stitch here and go into a stitch into the head, and just do that about 4 to 5 times, and then you'll have the arms attached. Then you can keep attaching the head to the center of the blanket. Once you have it sewn around, I would go back and secure it again one more time, just to make sure it's secure. So I'm just taking my yarn and my yarn needle and then going into the blanket and then sewing into the head, sewing into the arms, and making sure everything is as secure as possible so it doesn't fall off. And when you're sewing this, that it's on an angle to where you can fold it like this and it's in the center. I hope you enjoyed this crochet bunny rabbit lovey blanket pattern, and the pattern is down below. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.